They're all available at InfoWarsStore.com and StoneZone.com. Roger, thank you for the update. Look forward to having you on very soon.
Alex, great to be with you as always.
There goes Roger Stone with the latest information. Before I go any further, I'm doing the first Ask Me Anything on Reddit tonight, 6 to 8 o'clock Central, and we'll have that feed up. You can also watch the nightly news, and there'll be the feed of the daytime show. We're just spewing media out into the stratosphere here. You can ask me anything at 6 p.m. tonight. The feed will be at Infowars.com/AMA. That's right, Infowars.com/AMA. You can see the graphic there. It says Infowars.com/show, because there'll also be a feed there. And we'll have a feed up on the YouTube channel, Real Alex Jones. So you'll find the feeds. The best thing to do is sign up at Infowars.com/newsletter, and we will send you any special event links and feeds and showtime, so it's easy to find it right in your email, Infowars.com/newsletter. I'm Alex Jones. We'll be right back with the second hour. We just talked to Roger Stone about Hillary Clinton's girlfriend. And look, I'm not even mad she's got a girlfriend that's a operative of the Saudis. It's that she's an operative of the Saudis. And that our country is overrun by foreign interest. And the political class has basically legalized, by fiat at the top, selling us out to anybody and everybody. It's kind of like the big mega banks decided 20 years ago under Clinton to change the laws. The Republicans went along with it, to where they could sell the same house's mortgage twice. And once they did that, within a few months, they said, how about we sell it 3 times? How about 5 times? How about 10 times? How about 20 times? How about 30 times? In some cases, we looked this up, your home mortgage was sold to investors more than 100 times. This is the con artist cult that we have running things that used to, they cared if nuclear reactors were leaking. They cared. They tried to stop them from that. Used to, they closed reactors after about 25, 30 years. Now they just leave them open and just say, we're not even going to do safety upgrades and stuff. We're just going to let them leak and blow up. And you say, but why? They go, we make more money. And you say, but there won't be any planet left if you. It'll be uninhabitable. And they just look at you and just giggle and snicker. And all they care about is going to country clubs and acting rich and flying around on helicopters and wearing the newest, finest French and Italian dresses. Seriously. They don't care about hypocrisy, where Schmidt, the head of Google, has his girlfriends wear hoods over their heads like Michael Jackson would do to his adopted kids, because he wants them to have privacy. But then he says, you're dumb if you think you have any privacy and shouldn't do anything on the internet. You don't want to be known publicly. This is after decades of them telling us it was all private while they suckered us in. You people are delusional megalomaniacs, and something else has happened. The attention span of most people's gone down to about 7 seconds. That of a goldfish. And I don't think there'll be any human society left in 10 years. I think you're going to start just seeing people just not even get out of bed soon. And it just, no one has memories. No, most people don't. There are a lot of folks that still are competent and are professional and have brains. But I'm telling you, people, there's so much stimuli and so much stuff that just in general, stuff is breaking down right now. Things are breaking down right now. And God help us is all I can say. God help us. Because we have crazy people running things. I mean, we have top generals all over Fox News and CNN saying, let's just go ahead and attack Russia. Let's go ahead and kill hundreds of thousands of them and put them in body bags. That'll teach them to submit to us when you're up on their border attacking them. No, killing hundreds of thousands of people will get us in a giant nuclear war, dumbass. It won't teach the Russians anything, you stupid moron. If you knew any history or common sense, you'd know that. But you know that. You'd rather sit up there in your suit with a bunch of sycophants and be the national security advisor to Fox News. Oh, General, tell us how to get tough. Tell us how to end the world, you stupid, stupid, bloated maggot. You people don't have souls, I'm telling you right now. People like that are gone. You're gone. You're an enemy of humanity. You're an enemy of progress. You're an enemy of the species, and you're dog crap. Dr. Steve Pieczenik is a frequent guest of ours. He's been coming on since 2002. He's been exposing the fact that criminal elements of multinational conglomerates are working with radical Islam, Saudi Arabia, and others to bring in a police state in the West. And, of course, the payoff to Saudi Arabia is they get to control the Middle East. They get to spread their form of Wahhabism across the board. Now, Dr. Pieczenik is probably one of the leading experts on what's really happening in the Middle East. He successfully, as the head of PSYOPs for the White House at the Camp David Accords, actually got the only effective peace treaty in the Middle East that held for any amount of time. And, of course, the leader of Egypt was later assassinated by a jihadist to basically unseat all of that. And he can talk about Arabists, who they are. He can talk about the different players. And he'll really give you a straight shot on this. But here's what I want to ask him. We have this gentleman and others and their families being brought into the country. We have 5 million, quote, refugees in Europe. It's in the hundreds of thousands here. They're keeping those numbers secret. They know there's going to be certain amounts of them that are being radicalized by ISIS propaganda. That is just the new name for Al-Qaeda. They're going to attack. And when they do attack, the government that brought them in should get the blame. But if there is a victory over common sense, instead they'll just say, we've got to have political correctness laws, hate speech laws, that you can't criticize Islam. You're causing them to attack. That's what Europe's already done. Civil emergency in Germany and other areas. France, you name it, Sweden. But I just don't see that flying here in the United States. It's really waking up gun owners. Gun sales are now at record levels yet again. Smith & Wesson and others have raised prices today. A lot of liberals are going out buying guns. The homosexual community is really waking up that they were targeted by this guy who reportedly didn't shoot black people. He said, I have no, quote, problem with blacks. Just bizarre behavior. Now we learned he was on these gay dating apps, the Guardian's reporting, and that he went to the gay club a lot. That's how he got in so easily. Then he worked for this security company with ties to the CIA. Now, I want to be clear. When something's a false flag, we expose it. This is more of a stand down in that they brought these folks in. The FBI knew. They were told to stand down by the State Department of all people. Whistleblowers have gone public. Just like San Bernardino, the FBI was ordered to stand down 2 years before when these people were going back and forth with Saudi Arabia. This guy did this too, this Matin. So why is Obama so paralyzed on radical Islam? Why are they bringing in so many of these people? Who is Huma Abedin? The word is she's like a Saudi operative. Hillary's girlfriend. Is the White House blackmailed by Saudi Arabia, or are they just bought off by him? We have video Saturday. General Petraeus walks out of Bilderberg. Reporters walk up, and he runs from them. And our reporters chase him through the streets of Dresden. We're going to play that footage today. It's up on Infowars.com. Peter Thiel got cornered, had to answer questions. So a lot of big things are happening, and Petraeus is getting all this money from the Saudis now. The Saudis are making a major move. Why is Europe bringing in 5 million people, 80% of them military-age men? We had a stabbing today by a jihadist pledging allegiance in France to ISIS. This guy's brother-in-law is involved with Obama bringing the refugees in. Suddenly in Austin, Texas, downtown or north or south, all over, there are women with burqas, not just hijabs everywhere. I mean, where I live, I'm seeing women in full Saudi Arabian slave outfits. It's freaking me out. So I don't want the Dick Cheney class of civilizations, but what do I do once they've stirred up the Middle East, made it fail, put radicals in, they're bringing them in to attack, and they think they're going to blame gun owners and veterans for the deaths? No, we're going to blame Hillary Clinton and Obama and the globalists and the neocons. So I want to ask Dr. Pieczenik where he thinks all this is going. I know he was coming on today to talk about a book he wrote about his mother, but he wants to do that another time, so we'll do that in a few weeks. But it's an interesting story. It's very political as well. But Dr. Pieczenik obviously has been involved in all the world special operations, one of the guys with General Boykin and others that founded Delta Force. I'm not going to go over his whole background. He's a psychiatrist and a medical doctor. And he can speak to the psychology of all of this, and I don't know his views yet on it. We're going to find out. I respect him. I just want to get him on and get his views right now. Dr. Pieczenik, thanks for joining us. In the 4 minutes till break, what do you think really happened here, and what does this signify? And again, as I asked, is Obama blackmailed? Is he a closet Muslim? I mean, I know they're trying to have a clash of civilizations. Are the globalists double-crossing the West, and are they deciding to go Islamic long-term? What's happening?
What's really happening is we have a very dysfunctional intelligence system, in particular the FBI and the CIA. Let me go over this. Since 9/11, you have to remember that both the CIA, the FBI, military intelligence, and an entire group of security apparatuses joined in the stand down false flag. Nothing has really changed. Obama was brought in, as I said to you, and nobody believed it. Obama, Clinton, Bush Jr., Bush Sr. by the CIA. Then they're put into the political arena where they're either Republicans.
So really we're talking about the incompetency of the CIA coup we've had since 1963?
Yeah, in this case, it's the FBI. Let me go backwards and give you some basic points that should have been brought up, not by you. I always appreciate being on your show, but by people in general. 2 days ago, I wrote a blog which said very clearly that Mateen was radicalized in his home. Number one, he was a homosexual. It was so obvious to me as a psychiatrist. It was obvious, and it should have been obvious to the FBI and anybody who interrogated him for 7 months or 10 months, that he was a closeted homosexual who wasn't closeted. Now, why is this important? Because he went out for 150 miles, went to that club several times, which I suspected was true, and in fact killed the very people to which he identified. Now, what makes that interesting in the Muslim religion is that Islam denies the importance and legitimacy of the gay homosexual, but on the other hand, they practice homosexuality. So you have this paradox in all of the Arab world, where on the one hand, they will stone women and they will stone men who commit homosexual acts. But the very essence of Islam and bonding of the men is homosexual. But they don't call it that. They call it attraction and bonding of brotherhood. They use other words for it. So in fact, what you've seen is the very paradox of Islam, and it should have been brought out by the intelligence community, by the FBI, and it was obvious. Secondly, he was radicalized at home. He was radicalized by a father who was a Mushahadin. In fact, his father, who I wrote about, is named Sadiq Mir Mateen. He's an Afghani Mushahadin who was brought in by the CIA. The FBI knew about it. He has a weekly radio show where he goes in full military regalia as a Mushahadin. That means as a Sunni Afghani who bemoans the fact that Pakistan is attacking Afghanistan. Now, if the FBI didn't know that, this is pathetic, because, in fact, the father lied when he said, I don't know anything about my son. It never occurred.
All right, Dr. Pieczenik, stay there. I'm going to come back and give you the floor. And by the way, you did write this 2 days ago. It's all turned out to be dead on accurate.
Correct.
We're going to take your article, post it to Infowars.com and say,
no problem.
Headline like, psychiatrist accurately predicted that Orlando shooter was a homosexual radicalized at home. We're going to push that headline out, pointing out that it was first published actually on Sunday. So we're talking basically 2.5, 3 days ago. Dr. Pieczenik knows his stuff. Top psych warfare expert. Dr. Steve Pieczenik, again, is retired, but he's one of the top former experts for the Pentagon, the State Department, you name it, on psychological operations with foreign governments, overthrow of governments, stabilization of governments, you name it. And he's seen it all, folks. And the info he's given us over the years has always been so accurate, especially long-term. I personally am so upset about all these radical Muslims they're bringing in. They're protecting, they're allowing to attack. They bring in the latest groups. They then radicalize the last group that was already here. And a lot of this, from my own just lay psychology studying it, they don't feel wanted. They don't feel like they're part of the culture. They're very conflicted. You're mixing folks from radical Orthodox Islamic countries with one of the wildest, laissez-faire, decadent societies out there. I don't agree with all the decadence. I don't endorse it, but in a free society, you have to let it operate. Well, you bring people in where daddy's got a radio show saying kill the gays and your imam says kill the gays.